Hello, class of 2029 students. The Spanish Springs High School Counseling Department is excited to welcome you to high school. During this presentation, we will walk you through how to fill out your course selection sheet and give you information about graduation requirements. We look forward to meeting you during the next week or two. On this slide, you'll see a QR code for our course catalog. This is where you will find information about all the classes we may potentially offer at Spanish Springs High School during the 25-26 school year. This QR code is also on your purple course selection sheet. The course selection materials you need in order to successfully pick your classes for your freshman year are the SSHS course catalog, which can be found online through that QR code, and the purple course selection sheet you have in front of you. Please take a moment to neatly put your first and last name on the front of the sheet. We will give you your due date in a few slides. As you go through 4 years of high school, you will be earning credits towards your high school diploma. We have 4 different diploma options in the Washoe County School District. This diploma options chart shows you those different options. The standard diploma is the basic high school diploma. That is the minimum you need to earn during your 4 years in order to graduate. That first column, the requirements have changed just slightly for you, the class of 2029. So if you have older siblings, their requirements look a little bit different. So for you, you need 23 credits, 4 years of English, a minimum of 3 years of math, and 2 years of science. You'll start your history sequence during 10th grade with world history, and then you'll take US in junior year and government and economics during your senior year. All diploma options require 2 years of PE, 1 year of arts, humanities, or CTE, career technical education, a semester of computer literacy, a semester of health, 5 electives for this diploma, and 2 flex credits. No minimum GPA requirement. Those 2 flex credits can be satisfied one of 3 ways. If you complete a 2-year CTE program successfully and earned all 4 semesters of the credit, the second year will count towards flex. If you complete 3 credits of science, the first 2 will go towards the science requirement and the third can go towards flex. The third way you can satisfy flex is through a 4th year of math. So if you complete your 3 credits of math for the diploma and then pass a 4th year, that 4th year can count for flex. So there's several different ways you can cover that flex requirement for graduation. The second column represents the State Advanced Diploma. That is the diploma that our school district and Spanish Springs High School encourages all students to work towards. It gives you a little more academic rigor and prepares you better for the world of work and any post-secondary options you may choose to explore after you graduate from high school. It is 24 credits instead of 23. There is a minimum cumulative weighted 8-semester GPA requirement of 3.25. You have 4 years of English you need to complete, 4 years of math, 3 years of science, 3 years of history, 2 PE, a year of arts and humanities, semester of computers, semester of health, 6 elective credits for a total of 24 credits. This state advanced diploma is also in line with the Millennium Scholarship Program for the state of Nevada, which gives you an opportunity to earn scholarship monies if you go in-state. The next column is the College and Career Ready with Endorsement Diploma. The academic requirements for this diploma are the same as the state advanced, but you can get additional endorsements on that diploma. If you participate in one of our CTE programs and you successfully complete it, you earn a B average within those core credits and you pass the 2 completer exams, you can get a career ready endorsement on your diploma. If during your junior year, when you take the ACT exam, you score an 18 on the English subsection and a 22 on the math subsection, that means you are college ready and you can get a college ready endorsement on your diploma. Again, 3.25, weighted cumulative GPA, 24 credits total. The fourth column is the honors diploma. That's the highest diploma you can work towards at the Spanish Springs High School. It is 24 credits as well, a 3.4 weighted cumulative GPA. This diploma requires 2 years of the same foreign language. So you must take foreign language for this diploma. Foreign language is not required for the other diplomas, but if you do take foreign language, it's not a lost credit. It would just go to elective instead. The honors diploma has 4 years of English and 4 years of math as a requirement, 3 years of science, 3 years of social studies, 2 PE, 1 arts and humanities, computers and health, and 4 elective credits. You also must complete at least 8 classes that have an honors, advanced placement, or dual credit distinction to show that you've challenged yourself during high school. That last column shows the honors plus college and career ready, because you can also get those college and career ready endorsements if you earn an honors diploma. In order to graduate, you must also attempt 2 tests. During your junior year, you will take what they call a college and career ready exam. That is the ACT, which is a college entrance exam. And then your senior year during government, you will take a civics exam. Currently, there's not a minimum score requirement for either of those tests. You just must attempt them in order to graduate. It's time to talk about selecting your classes. In front of you, you have your purple course selection sheet. If you haven't already done so, please take a moment to neatly print your first and last name on your course selection sheet as it appears in Infinite Campus. Here's the due dates. If you are at Sky Ranch Middle School, your due date is Wednesday, March 5th. If you are at Shaw Middle School, your due date is Monday, March 10th. If you're at Pinecrest, your due date is Thursday, March 6th. On those dates, Spanish Springs High School counselors will be coming to your middle school to meet with you to review your course requests, finalize them, and take your course request sheets back to Spanish Springs High School to input them. So as you're filling out these course selection sheets, you want to be thinking about the classes you're looking at. Is the class offered for a full year or only for a semester? You will be picking your entire freshman year schedule on this sheet. So if you do pick a semester-long class, you will need to pick a second semester-long class to go with it. You want to be looking at required classes versus recommended classes and try and get as many of those done during 9th and 10th grade. You also want to pay attention to prerequisites to make sure you're eligible to take the class. During the next few slides, I'm going to walk you through filling out your course selection sheet. You will want to fill it out as completely as possible before the due date so that we can finalize it together. Please do not come to your meeting with the high school counselors with a blank form. It's important that you have done the work so that we can make decisions together. You can put notes on the form, ask questions, jot down questions, and we're happy to help you with that, but please don't leave it blank because you're afraid of doing it wrong. You won't do it wrong, we promise. Just a reminder, the QR code for the course catalog is on your form, and so is a link to this PowerPoint if you want to go back to it, along with some other information, including the parent presentation we did a couple days ago. So your parents can have information as well. You'll want to show them this form, have them sign off on it, and so let's walk through this together. Let's turn the form over to the other side for a minute. You'll see on the back side we have given you information about freshman recommended and elective course options. This is a good starting point for you as you start to explore the course catalog, start thinking about what kind of classes you want to take, what PE, what CTE programs, what electives. If you're interested in the Signature Academy, you can get information by clicking on the website or the QR code to find out about applying to our Signature Academy. The second round opened up on the 15th of February, and there still are spaces available in both programs, so please consider applying. But you can start here, see what classes might sound interesting to you, and then go back into that course catalog to read the course descriptions and find out all the information regarding the classes you might be interested in taking next year. Let's talk about how to select your classes for next year. We want you to talk with your current English and math teachers if you're interested in taking Honors English or Honors Formal Geometry next year. You will need to get their signatures and initials next to those classes on your course selection form so that we know they recommend you for those courses. We want you to review the course options that are listed on the back of your course selection sheet and then read the course descriptions in the course catalog before selecting your classes. Please fill in all 4 elective choices on your course selection sheet in the order of what you want most to least. At the bottom, make sure your parent signs off and fills in their information, and then bring your completed form to school on your designated due date. On this slide, I'd like to walk you through reading a course description from our course catalog. This example is for a class called Speech and Debate. It is a very active class at our school, and there are classroom requirements and outside of class requirements. And so when we talk about encouraging you to read the course descriptions, it's for that reason. We want to make sure you understand all the requirements for different classes. Some classes, you go to class, you do the work, you might have a little bit of homework, and that's it. But other classes may be a little bit more involved, and we want to make sure you're picking a balanced schedule for yourself and taking into consideration other outside of school activities you might have. Again, you are picking your full freshman class schedule for next year. And so this class is a year-long class, and you'll see it says Speech and Debate with 2 course numbers, 6411, 6412. Full year class. It has a fee of $50 for speech and debate tournaments and transportation fees. And then it gives you a paragraph letting you know what the class is about and what skills you would be developing in it. As you fill out your elective sheet section, if you wanted to take this class, you would write 6411 in the first space and write speech and debate. And then next to it, you'd write 6412 and speech and debate because that's a year-long class. So that is just an example of how to read the course guide and how to put it on the course selection sheet. Let's look at filling out the course selection sheet in more detail. So you should be looking at the freshman course request side of the course selection sheet, and I'm looking at the top, the required courses. You'll see that I have highlighted the different parts that we want to make sure you fill out. This particular example shows that the student wants to challenge themselves by taking Honors English. So they have X'd the box next to Honors English. Then they've had their English teacher put their initials showing that they approved that choice, and then they've signed it under current English teacher's signature. In the math, they're in Math 8 this year. They are going to take Algebra 1, Semester 1 and 2 next year, and then they just had the teacher sign off on it. All of our freshmen take biology, so they're just checking that box. So you're picking your English, math, and science classes for next year. Let's take a moment to talk about choosing a math class for your freshman year. If you are currently taking Algebra 1 in 8th grade and are struggling, we recommend repeating Algebra 1 as a freshman so that you can get a good solid foundation in algebra, because as a junior, you will then take Algebra 2 and you'll want to be as ready as possible for that class. If you are currently earning A's or B's in Algebra 1 in 8th grade, we recommend taking Formal Geometry, which is the honors option, or Regular Geometry in 9th grade. It's up to you and your math teacher to decide which might be the best fit for you. For students currently taking 8th grade math, you will all be enrolled in Algebra 1 in 9th grade. And if you are on an IEP, your case manager will recommend an appropriate math course for you for 9th grade. Let's focus in on the recommended courses for a moment. As I mentioned during the diploma options slide, there are several requirements you must complete no matter which diploma you're working on. All students must earn a semester of computers and a semester of health, 2 credits of PE, and a year of arts, humanities, or CTE. For this example, this freshman wants to get computers and health out of the way, so they've X'd both of them. They are just interested in taking general freshman only PE, so they chose that. And then for arts and humanities, their top choice is our multimedia 1 class. So they chose those. They wrote the course numbers in on the blank spots, and they found those numbers in the course catalog. They put the one for fall for each of those classes, and then a different one for the spring, because each class has a different number for each semester. Let's take a minute to review the different ways you can satisfy the computer literacy and health graduation requirements. For computers, you can either take a semester-long computer science and applications course, or you can take a year-long advanced computer science 1 course. If you take that course and you pass both semesters, the second semester will count for your computer literacy requirement. For health, there's 3 different options. You can either take the semester-long health class, or if you apply and are accepted into our Sports Medicine Academy, the class you will take in 9th grade is called Principles of Health Science. If you successfully pass both semesters, the second semester will count for your health requirement. The third way to satisfy your health requirement for graduation from high school, if you choose to do military science and you complete 3 years, during that third year, if you pass both semesters, the spring semester will count for your health requirement. Now we're going to take a moment to discuss PE and PE waivers. In order to graduate from high school, you need to complete 4 semesters of PE. For 9th graders, we have 4 options. You can take a general team sport class called PE for 9th grade only, where you play a variety of team sports. If you'd like to do a little weight training, you can take fitness weights. If you would just like to take power walking and just walk each time you go to class, that's also an option. If you're interested in playing a sport for Spanish Springs High School and you plan to try out, you can sign up for athletic weights. PE waivers can also be earned if you take military science. Up to 4 PE waivers can be earned for 4 semesters of military science. If you take marching band each fall for 4 years, you can get PE waivers for marching band. If you complete up to 4 seasons of athletics for us at Spanish Springs High School, you can get up to 4 PE waivers that way. So there's a multitude of ways you can satisfy your PE requirements for graduation. Let's take a minute to look at the elective courses section of your course selection sheet. We've looked at the top section, the middle section, now we're looking at the elective section. It is very important that you take the time to fill this section in completely with course numbers and class names for each class you're interested in taking, and that you make the list go from your first choice to your 4th choice, what you want the most to the least. Please do not leave this section blank. Please do not rewrite classes that you wrote in the top or middle sections in this section. New courses only should be listed in this section, and you will not want to write the same class over and over again. The reason is we have some very popular classes at Spanish Springs High School, and we want to give each of you an opportunity to get a seat in those classes. So we put your top choices in the computer, and then the computer gives X number of kiddos seats in those classes. If you don't get one of those seats, we want to be able to go back to your course selection sheet and see what your other choices are, so we can try and get you into your 2nd, 3rd, or 4th choice. If you don't take the time to fill this section out completely, it ends up that your counselor has to pick your electives for you. So please take this seriously and fill the sections out completely. Double check those course numbers to make sure you're writing down the correct course numbers for the classes you're interested in. As you're exploring the different elective options Spanish Springs High School has for incoming freshmen, you'll also be looking at our signature academies. You can look at the back side of the course selection sheet to get some ideas about classes that might interest you, and then go into the course catalog to read those descriptions to see if they might be a good fit for you. You'll also want to decide if you'd like to apply to be in a Spanish Springs High School Signature Academy. That information and the QR code are on the back of your course selection sheet. We have 2 Signature Academies. We have the C3 Media Academy, and the class options for that are listed on the back. of your form, and the Sports Medicine Academy. If you are accepted into the Sports Medicine Academy, the first class in that sequence is Principles of Health Science. You will write that in the CTE Arts and Humanities section of your course selection sheet if you've been accepted or you get accepted, because that will be the first class in that course series. If you are accepted into C3 Media, you have your choice of 4 different classes. C3 Media students get priority enrollment in those classes, but those classes are also open to all other students. Principles of Health Science, though, is only available for students accepted into the Sports Med Academy. A couple of important reminders for you guys. Please take the time to talk with your 8th grade core class teachers to see what they think would be a good fit for you in 9th grade, especially if you're considering taking honors courses. Please make sure to have your parents help you pick your classes for next year and complete the bottom section of the course selection sheet. And please remember to bring your completed course selection sheet to school on your designated due date. I've spent some time during this presentation walking you through the different sections of your freshman course request sheet. Here is an example of what the completed course selection sheet should look like prior to you turning it in on the due date to your Spanish Springs High School counselor. All the highlighted sections are the spots where you should be neatly writing in your course selection choices, getting your signatures, getting your parent's signature, and putting in those 4 different elective option choices from what you want most to what you want least. At Spanish Springs High School, our counselors are divided by alphabet, meaning we will follow you from 9th grade through 12th grade. You are assigned to your counselor based on your last name. If your last name starts with A, B, or C through CHH, Mrs. Anderson will be your counselor. If your last name starts with CHI, D, E, F, or G through GIN, Mrs. Goss will be your counselor. If your last name starts with G, GIO through H, I, J, K through KNH, Mrs. Cuellar will be your counselor. If your last name starts with KNI through L, M, N, NIJ, Mrs. Harris will be your counselor. If your last name starts with NIK through O, P, Q, R, S through SIC, Mrs. Gonzalez will be your counselor. If your last name starts with SID through T, U, V, W, X, Y, or Z, Mrs. Myers will be your counselor. When we come down to the middle schools to meet with you to pick up your course selection sheets, it's our hope that we will get to meet with you one-on-one, unless it's too crowded and we're trying to get through a bunch of kiddos. But we look forward to meeting with you all when we see you during course returns. Let's take a moment to talk about schedule change requests in high school. You are picking your class schedule for your freshman year, both fall and spring semesters. We want you to take good time to really make choices that sound fun and interesting to you. You'll turn in your course selection sheets to us when we meet with you at your middle schools, but you can make changes to those requests up until the last day of this school year. You could go to your middle school counselor and ask them to email us, or you could reach out to us directly and we can make changes. But after June 6th, students are not allowed to make schedule changes. So in the fall, when you get your schedule, you can't change the schedule. You can't ask to change to a different teacher. You are not allowed to move your classes around or change the order of them. The only reasons we make schedule changes in the fall is if you've been placed in the wrong class or subject, the wrong level or subject. If for some reason you've already earned credit for that course, which is unusual for incoming freshmen, or if you have an incomplete or overfilled schedule. So once these course requests are put in and we go out for the summer, These are the classes you'll be taking in the fall. So please take good time, ask good questions, look in the course catalog, and make good choices. We are excited to see you. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this presentation. Hopefully it has answered a lot of questions you might have about the course selection process for your freshman year. Just a reminder, you have the QR code on your course selection sheet that will take you to the web page where this presentation can be found if you want to refer back to it or share it with your parents. We look so forward to meeting you when we come to the middle schools to collect your course selection sheets, and then to see you again in August and welcome you to high school. Thank you and have a great day.